Welcome to this fourth video in a series of 7 on creating an enabling work environment. My name is Yumi Staat and I'm a co-founder and director of Purpose at Work. Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands on which this video was produced, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. At Purpose at Work, we help human service organizations bring their purpose and values to life by supporting them to implement purpose-driven ways of working in their day-to-day practice. In our work, we have found that creating an enabling work environment is crucial to building better organizations and better teams. As described in the introduction video, a connected work environment is a key aspect of an enabling work environment. Social connection is the experience of feeling close to others. It's a term that refers to the ways in which one can connect to others, both physically, behaviorally, cognitively, and emotionally, and involves feelings of feeling cared for and valued. Feeling close to and being valued by others is a fundamental human need. We need it to function well in both our private and our work lives. Socially connected workplaces with healthy relationships are the fundamental driver of positive workplace behavior, and this translates directly into engaging, stimulating, supportive, and safe workplaces. Deliberate strategies for creating and maintaining connection at work has become especially important now with remote and hybrid working more common than ever before. Connection is also seen as part of the more far-reaching concept of belonging. It is this sense of belonging that can make work feel like a community. Fostering a sense of belonging in the workplace has increasingly been recognized as important to an organization's success. In the 2020 Deloitte Global Human Capital Trends Survey, 79% of respondents marked fostering a sense of belonging as important to their organization's success, and 93% agreed that it would drive performance. In this research, belonging is the outcome of 3 mutually reinforcing attributes. First, there is a sense of inclusion, respect, and fairness, which they coin as comfort. The second is a sense of community, meaningful relationships, and common purpose and goals, which they see as being the element of connection. And the third one is a sense of contribution to purpose and goals, which they see as the contribution part of a sense of belonging. Creating a sense of belonging is seen as a progression from comfort through to connection to contribution, where each step builds on the other. In previous videos, we've touched on the elements of comfort with psychological safety, health, and well-being. In this video, we focus on connection, with contribution being covered in the upcoming videos. In 2019, People Experience platform BetterUp surveyed nearly 2,000 employees and found that those who felt a strong sense of belonging demonstrated a 50% reduction in turnover risk, a 56% increase in performance, and a 75% decrease in sick days taken. Besides organizational benefits, there are individual benefits for connection at work, like a higher self-esteem and empathy, lower rates of depression and anxiety, and better emotional regulation. These are important aspects in a team because when we feel insecure in a group, we tend to avoid learning behaviors like asking questions, asking for help, or giving and receiving feedback. We're less likely to take risks. By not doing these things that will help us learn and grow, teams tend to underperform. Research has found that more than 40% of people feel emotionally and physically isolated at work. Thankfully, there are ways to build a more connected work environment. Connection happens when people not only have meaningful relationships with co-workers, but also when they feel connected to the organization's purpose, vision, and values, and that they believe that the work they do is meaningful. For this to happen, the purpose, vision, and values need to be clear and shared across the organization, and teams need to be able to identify how they contribute to achieving them. Unless people consciously try to be inclusive, exclusion can occur by accident. The smallest unintentional cues can undermine people's sense of belonging. Therefore, be mindful and intentional in your actions toward creating a connected work environment. Sharing experiences is a great fuel for awareness and empathy, encourage the sharing of personal stories in the workplace. For example, through a How Might We session, where you focus on the organizational values by people sharing their stories of how they have felt when somebody's behavior was aligned to these or when these were not aligned to them. Think about how you bring people together and help them form social bonds to purposefully create an environment where people feel they belong. Explore opportunities to create social bonds through how you structure teams, how you bring groups together to solve problems outside of their day-to-day work, and how the workplace is designed, and how and where remote teams come together to build social bonds. Research has found that having an ally in your team, so someone who acknowledges and includes you, counteracts the impacts of active exclusion by others on the person feeling left out. Anyone of the team can be an ally, and people can enlist their own allies at any level. Implementing a well-designed and supported buddy or mentoring system can be a strategy to create allies. Organizational psychologists Jane Dutton and Emily Heafy coined the term high-quality connections to describe interactions that have a positive impact on our lives and work by being energizing instead of draining. It's the kind of interaction where people are tuned into each other and feel valued. These connections can be brief, but need to happen regularly and not be negative. Jane Dutton developed 4 specific pathways to building high-quality connection. The first is the task-enabling way, where you help another person to perform successfully. The second is the respectful engagement way, where you engage another in a way that sends a message of value and worth. The third is the trusting way, by conveying that you believe in others and that they will meet your expectations and that they are dependable. And the fourth is the playing way, where the connection's goal is to have fun together. While it's ideal to avoid exclusion or have an ally in place to guard against exclusion's negative effects, sometimes neither is possible. Research has found that there are ways to intervene even after exclusion has occurred, by asking the excluded team member questions like what they would say to support someone else who has been left out, what they would change to make the situation more fair, inclusive, and enjoyable, and ask them to read written reports by others who had been excluded, including how they worked through the experience. Working through these questions ease the pain of exclusion, particularly the first 2 questions. So processing exclusion in a proactive manner may enable us to bounce back fully and quickly from social isolation. This, in turn, allows us to re-engage and return to experiencing connection in our workplace and the many benefits that come from that. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or are interested to explore what you can do to improve your work environment, feel free to contact me via the details shown here. And please share your thoughts and feedback, as both NDS and Purpose at Work look for new and better ways to support you and your workforce in creating an enabling work environment.